Well, Judd, thank you very much for speaking to us. Just a few days to go now until the defence of your Bet Victor Northern Ireland Open title. How much are you looking forward to heading over to Belfast?
It's exciting. It's been a bit stop-start so far, and this is a tournament what I enjoy sort of going to, and it's always a great crowd there. It's a great arena, and a lot of obviously good memories over the past couple of years. So it's one that's very special to me, and it is one where sort of just eager to get out there now, eager to get playing again. And I think everyone is just sort of excited to be playing again back in sort of a different country.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's been amazing that you've played Ronnie in 3 finals in a row with but obviously the 2 of them were out there. How do the atmosphere for those finals stack up against other big finals you've been involved in? It's quite a special atmosphere out at the Waterfront Hall, and they've got quite a lot of passionate fans out in Northern Ireland, don't they?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a handful of tournaments, the Masters, and you've got the German Masters. World Championship now and again is a good atmosphere, but I mean that's up there with all of them, I think. And for a tournament that's only classed as sort of a small tournament, for me is as important as a lot of the big ones, just because of the atmosphere. The fans in Northern Ireland are very passionate, and it's just a similar atmosphere to playing in London. I think they get sort of quite rowdy, really behind you, and the support I get in Belfast is probably a lot more than I get over here. I think is a lot more even when I play Ronnie in the finals. So I think that's something that helps me.
Yeah, you actually, I mean, it was obviously very sad that we had to have last year's tournament in Milton Keynes due to the pandemic and everything. But you actually said during that event that it'd be nice to try and win it so you could actually walk out as defending champion this year. And obviously that's how it's panned out. I suppose given everything we've been through over that last year, that will be quite a special moment on Sunday to walk out there as defending champion, won't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's nice to just to be able to get back there still holding the title. But it's somewhere that obviously after winning it for the first time was special, but just to win it the next 2 times, it wasn't quite the same in Milton Keynes, but still nice to win again against Ronnie.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing to have played 3 finals in a row against Ronnie and had the same scoreline in each of them. That's pretty unprecedented. But how much more special have those wins been? The fact that they have been a bit of a continuation of that rivalry against Ronnie, and it's come against him in the final.
To do it 3 times in a row is something that just doesn't happen. I don't think any other player has ever beat him on that kind of level. So to win 3 times in a row against him makes it even more special. And it's just, the tournament is so hard to win in itself, but to beat him as well, it just sort of takes it to that next level.
And only Steve Davis and Stephen Hendry have won at least 3 years in a row in the same specific ranking event. I think if you win next week, you'll go level with Steve Davis in terms of having won 4 in a row. Hendry's obviously won 5. But how important do you think these little sort of records and milestones are? And maybe 20 or 30 years, you'll be able to look back and see yourself in the record books with these sorts of achievements.
Obviously, there's only a couple of players that have ever won the same event 3 times in a row or more. So if you're doing that, you're doing the right thing, and you're up there with the other greats of the game. And if sort of John Higgins, Ronnie O'Sullivan aren't winning the same tournament that many times, it just shows how hard it is to do. So it's something that's special to me, and hopefully I can keep the run going for another year. But if not, it's been sort of a very special tournament for me.
And I wanted to ask you now, looking back, it's been dust settled a bit on your trip over to America to try your hand at 9-ball pool at the US Open. How was your experience out there in Atlantic City? How do you enjoy that?
Yeah, it was really good fun. It was just like a different experience just to get out there and just play in front of some American fans. Obviously, is a game that I'm not used to, but I just wanted to go out there and kind of promote myself really, and just try and just take sort of Q Sports to a different level, kind of promote both of them at the same time and get my name out there for hopefully to have a big snooker tournament there in the future. So it was a lot more interest and a lot more recognition than I thought there would be, especially from the pool fans. And it's something in the future that hopefully we can keep sort of building the game and hopefully be able to get a tournament out there.
So you saw enough to think that that's a potential market to exploit for snooker, that we could really try and push, trying to get an event on in America and really promote the game there then?
I think the sort of the attention span's a lot shorter than sort of the European people. I think the game needs to be a lot more sort of quick fire, maybe quicker matches, or just sort of invitational big names to start with to try and grow the game. But I certainly think if the top players, myself, Ronnie, and the more sort of attacking players are enjoyable to watch, I certainly think there's sort of a market for us in the future.
And in terms of pool itself, do you think that that's something you'll try your hand in again in the future? In the future,
yeah, I think I'll go away and obviously concentrate on my snooker. I won't ever let it get in the way of that. But if there's a way I can kind of combine the both and put my work in at snooker, and then after that maybe put an hour or two in a day at pool as well, and try and get to number one in both sports, and it'd be amazing for me. So it's just about setting myself new challenges all the time, and I just feel like if I can make my name in pool as well, it will benefit snooker, because there is a sort of complete different crowd and a complete different market in pool. There's just seeing people from all over the world. That's kind of something that snooker needs to get into, and kind of get the top players from every part of the world. In terms of the snooker, then it's obviously been a remarkable period of dominance for you these last few seasons. To have won 6 ranking events and 5 ranking events. Do you think that level of success is something that's sustainable? Are you looking at that each year and setting your target at that, or do you think that you've set the bar so high that is something that would be quite hard to keep up? There's a lot of expectation on myself now, but I don't see why not. I don't see if I keep putting the work in. I think this year and last year is sort of very hard, because there is a lot less tournaments than there was maybe 2 or 3 years ago, because of what's going on. But I think when it gets back to normal and there's all the tournaments are back on, I don't see any reason why over the next 5 years I can keep winning sort of 5 or 6 events a year. Yeah, as you say, there is a lot of expectation on you now, but slightly conversely, do you think that sometimes you maybe don't necessarily get the credit you deserve? I saw an interview with Phil Hagan and Nick Metcalf that they did with John Berger, and he said he was disappointed with what you did last season. Do comments like that bother you at all? It all comes back to some of the stuff I said, I think, before the World Championship, when just a few of the people in and around the game that are trying to be sort of helping, promoting the game, are just sort of just turning up, not doing their homework and stuff like that. So it's tough, really, because I personally, I don't see how that can be disappointing, but obviously his opinion, maybe he's a bit salty after what I said in the World Championship. But I just feel it's right. We need some more people involved with the game that show a lot more passion, a lot more interest, and do their homework about the players and stats and that kind of thing. So I think just people like Alan McManus, is just the passion he shows. I think if everyone could be like that or be similar to that, then the game would be in a lot better place. And if we look at last season, I think the expectation a lot of people thought, in terms of all this sort of coronavirus stuff, was that we might have a more of a level playing field, and the lower ranked players might come in and actually surprise us. But actually, the way it turned out, it was quite a small pool of winners that won events, and like yourself, Mark Selby and Neil Robertson were sort of the dominant figures. How do you see this season panning out? Do you think we could see more of the same of that, or do you think we'll have a bit more of a wide range of winners? I feel like the top players, there's just sort of a gulf that developed really between the class of maybe the top 4 or 5 players and the rest of the players now that we haven't seen for a while. And a lot of the times over the past 10 years, you go into events thinking that anyone in maybe the top 16, top 20 can win it. But now it's sort of the same 4 or 5 players every single event that are just taken them all and they just show the hunger to turn up and want to win every event. And obviously you've got Mark Selby back to probably the best he's played, and there's 2 or 3 others. Ronnie's always there or thereabouts. John Higgins looks like he's trying to get himself fit and motivated again to get back to that level. But it just seems to be the same winners every event. And I think for me, there's so many players that struggled in Milton Keynes because every tournament did feel the same. So it kind of, I'd take a lot of pride in being able to get myself up for the events there and be able to win so many. And I think I reached 7 finals. I won 5 of them. I had probably, apart from winning the 6 events last year and maybe Stephen Hendry in his prime, probably one of the best seasons ever. I don't know how many times sort of players have reached 7 events and won 5 of them, but obviously that wasn't good enough for John Virgo. But we go again and try and get to a few more this year. Yeah,
I mean, and how much do are you driven on by guys like Mark Selby and Neil Robertson now, who've really upped their game? I know that you sort of slightly contest the idea that Mark has become world number 1 and you see yourself as the top player, but it is it's certainly there are guys now at the very top who you're really having some great battles with each other.
I mean, it's good because it's good to have everyone back to their best, and in that way you can never really put when I win a tournament they can't put it down and vice versa. So I still think I'm the best, and until someone wins more tournaments in a year than in a calendar year than I do, then I'll consider to count myself as the best, and I think that's the way it should work.
Well, good luck next week, Judd. We'll look forward to seeing you in action.
Thank you. Cheers.